Hello there, I'm Dr. Brad Holt. Welcome to my series of short videos on Christian spirituality. All spiritualities are about relationships, and therefore about growth and exploration and journeying. Christian spirituality is about all these things too, but it finds its focus in Jesus Christ and in the power of the Holy Spirit. Being spiritual from a Christian standpoint is living in the Holy Spirit. There are many spiritualities in the Christian tradition, many life forms, styles of life, which people have followed in their attempt to be disciples of Jesus. We will explore some of them in this series of videos, for it is a very big tradition. The Christian tradition, some 2,000 years old, with many varieties and many cultures throughout the world. Here I'm going to share some things that are very important to me, and I hope they become important to you as well. I have become so convinced of the richness, diversity, and fruitfulness of this Christian tradition that I have written a book about it. It's called Thirsty for God, A Brief History of Christian Spirituality. This book has been in print now for 25 years, and this is the third edition. It has proved itself to be helpful to beginners and students in all the Christian traditions, namely Orthodox, Catholic, and Protestant. The book is not only informative, but also formative. That is, it not only gives you information about this long tradition, but it also suggests formation because it offers spiritual practices which arise out of each period in Christian history. These practices have been tried and tested over a long period of time. We do not need to reinvent the wheel. We only need to find out about the wheels that are already available and put them on our wagons. So I intend that this series of videos will begin with 5 introductory ones. This one and 4 more, each on what you might call the 4 loves, or the 4 relationships that I see in Christian spirituality. These are our love of God, of other people, of ourselves, and of the natural world, of creation. After this introductory number of 5, we'll then begin the chronological description of the most important people and movements, starting in the 2nd century and running up to the present day. What I expect of you, the viewer, is that you will watch these videos with an open mind and a willingness to experiment. For I invite you to go beyond what your experience may have been in the Christian church, positive or negative. I expect that you will explore some ways of behavior, some disciplines, which may be new to you, and only hearing about them will not have the same effect as practicing them. My own experience of Christian spirituality has gone through many stages. Early on, I was a conservative evangelical. At some point, I became an agnostic. Then I grew into the Catholic charismatic renewal. And more recently, I have come to appreciate liturgical worship in my church very much. During my time of studying for my doctorate at Yale University, I first encountered the field of Christian spirituality. Then I went off to teach at the Theological College of Northern Nigeria, and finally to return to Augsburg University in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I have traveled to over 40 countries, often leading groups of people, always looking for the ways in which this spirituality shows itself in different cultures around the world. I have been in spiritual direction about 30 years. I have been a spiritual director for about 14 years, following my study at the Christos Center here in Minnesota. And so all of these experiences are my background as I share with you my insights on the important writers and movements in the Christian tradition. For this video, my suggestion of a spiritual practice is simply that you find a time in your day, usually morning or evening, to spend a few quiet minutes by yourself. You may want to meditate, you may want to remember, you may want to hope. How you spend the time is not so important as that you develop a habit of standing back from the busyness of your life and simply to rest in the goodness of God. See you next time.